If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of staff or the police.
So I'm waiting for the train to leave.
Smoking is not permitted in
I already
any
forgot
building,
what I wanted to
station,
say.
or on trains. This includes e-cigarettes.
I remembered. As I'm waiting for the train to leave, um, it's basically it's this train, by the way, and it departs pretty soon, as you can see. In 1 minute's time, they say. All right. Hello. It's nice to be here. And where should I sit? Where should I sit? Well, let's sit towards the train driver's side this time around, shall we? And I'm right here. Hello. Really cool coat, I must say. I like that Telltale has done new passengers. But anyway, this is not really good. Very nice place to see. It's not. Let's stand up and see. Can I get the better view? And yes, I do get the better view. Here is a bit. Well, yep. It will do. It will do. It will do. It's okay. Hi, mate. I checked out when I did the last episode of Sunday Morning Train Ride. It was 200 days ago, as of the day of recording. So Sunday it should be Friday, Saturdays, 203 days. So yeah, that's what I did my last Sunday morning train ride episode. And it has gathered about 68, 70 views. Anyway, that's not important. It's just it was for my own references. I just got the stuff there and stuff. Anyway, I grabbed my coffee. I have my coffee. We are about to depart London. I should start on blabbing about today's episode, not to ramble along. So I hope you have your coffee or drink of choice as well, and let's go. No, I'm not gonna say it. I wanted to say something, but I don't know if I am going to follow it through in the future, so I am not. It is pretty well. The windows are tinted, aren't they? So that first is getting like anyway, it is like that today. Or if you want, I could go and see if there is a better place to better place where it's not that first written. Where did I? How did? Hello. Yeah, that's a nice place. Oh, that's a really nice place. Battersea power station. I have to get my stuff together so I get the lights back on, since it's already November. I went to the wrong places, as usual, because I can't do that. Let's start this off with a very short story. There are many urban legends around us like other stories. Some are more famous than others, and some have become so popular that people actually do believe them instead of the truth. Like with everything else in life, railways are not an exception. I'll leave the spooky stuff alone since it is Sunday morning. Instead, for me, I tell you one football story that I found on the internet. The endless space of information. It is not a football story though, it is a train story, but football related or kind of like that. Hope you like it. As we travel on, watching the passing landscape out of London. On a rather smaller scale than the strategic steam reserve, the tantalizing idea of lost or buried locomotives is also to be found in the story of the steam locomotive, which is said to be buried under the pitch at Wembley Stadium. The general feeling is that it's a narrow gauge locomotive which fell into a pit during the demolition of what was supposed to be England's answer to Paris Eiffel Tower. The brainchild of Metropolitan Railway chairman Sir Edward Watkin. What became known as Watkin's Folly never rose higher than its legs. The site was then used for the Empire Stadium, later better known as Wembley Stadium, with the Folly's foundations and the steam locomotive simply covered over with earth and the pitch built on top. Anthony Clayton, author of The Folklore of London, a book about curious London traditions and myths. Pretty interesting book, I might have to say as a remark. Is highly skeptical of the legend. And when Wembley Stadium was reconstructed in the early 2000s, no locomotive was found, although the foundations of the Folly apparently were. But believers in the existence of the buried locomotive say that just shows the builders didn't look properly. Now, the urban legends and folklore is interesting and cool, but there is something else pretty interesting. The history of Brighton Main Line. I find it more interesting than most of the others. I don't know why really. To be honest, most of the history for me is interesting since I like it. I just don't enjoy living in the past as in form of virtually driving this steam, for example. Now when I think about it, actually Northern Transpennine in 80s is pretty cool, to be honest. Anyway, short snippet from the Brighton Main Line history-wise. Land use between London and Brighton was largely rural. The line was planned to traverse the North Downs, the Weald Ridge and the South Downs while avoiding steep gradients. Owing to the difficult terrain and relatively sparse population between Croydon and Brighton, the line bypassed several towns and villages on the London-Brighton Road, such as Reigate and Crawley. Even so, it required substantial earthworks, notably through the North Downs at Merston, with one of the largest cuttings in Haywards Heath, Clayton and Patcham initially, then Quarry and Redhill, which were constructed later, and several embankments to avoid steep gradients or detours. The 1,475-foot long maximum 96 foot high, 29 meter, Ouse Valley Viaduct was built near Palcombe. The line opened in two stages: 12th of July 1841 Norwood Junction to Hayward's Heath, and 21st September 1841 to Brighton. Now, of course, when we talk about Brighton Main Line, we must talk about the Ouse Valley Viaduct, as in my opinion it is the single most impressive and beautiful landmark on that railway, if not in the whole British rail network. For those who don't know, Ouse Valley Viaduct is built over the River Ouse in Sussex, close to Hayward's Heath. It is also known as Palcombe Viaduct, and it has been described as probably the most elegant viaduct in Britain. And obviously it has had some restoration works done over time. Construction of the Ouse Valley Viaduct commenced by the London and Brighton Railway Company in 1839. It was designed by the principal engineer for the line, John Herbert Rastrick, in association with the architect of the London to Brighton Railway, David Mokata. The viaduct is 96 feet, as said 29 meters high, and is carried on 37 semicircular arches. It's of 30 feet 9.1 meters, surmounted by balustrades, spanning a total length of 1,480 feet, or 450 meters. Each pier contains a jack arch with a semicircular soffit, which had the benefit of reducing the number of bricks required. The roughly 11 million bricks required for its construction were mostly shipped up the River Ouse via New Haven and Lewes. From the Netherlands. On 12th July 1841, the viaduct was officially opened to train services, although the structure was not fully completed until the following years. Despite the structure's fine design, materials and architectural features, the viaduct has had an expensive and problematic history. The first major restoration work occurred during the 1890s, during which sections of the original brickwork were entirely replaced, in the belief that this would increase the structure's strength. However, the viaduct suffered considerable decay during the majority of the 20th century. By May 1983, the viaduct had been recognized as a Grade II listed structure. Between March 1996 and September 1999, the viaduct was subject to an extensive restoration by National Rail Infrastructure owner Railtrack. This work was part funded by the Railway Heritage Trust, English Heritage and West Sussex County Council. The first major restoration work occurred during the 1890s and was focused on repairs to the brickwork. Engineers of the late Victorian era were concerned that the original lime mortar used in the viaduct's construction was inadequate, and the decision was made to replace it with cement mortar. However, the replacement facing brickwork and substandard mortar eventually caused its own failures, prompting more expensive repairs later on. This was likely due to the repair work having borne a greater share of the structure's load than intended. resulting in an accelerated failure rate. Poorly bonded header bricks are another probable culprit for its ineffectiveness. Additionally, the parapets and pavilions, although made from can stone, a highly quality limestone, have been subjected to heavy weathering. By 1956 the damage to the viaduct was extensive, but the cost of refurbishment work was deemed too high by British Rail. The degradation was partially a consequence of the structure's long lifespan. When originally constructed in the 1840s, its intended design life was only 120 years. By May 1983, the viaduct had been officially recognized as a Grade II listed structure. Well, it's fair to say that it has been over 120 years. By the 1880s, the 8 pavilions present on the viaducts were in such a poor condition that some of their roofs had fallen in and the installation of internal props was required to halt their further collapse. As a consequence of its heritage status, all envisioned alterations to the viaduct need to be reviewed and agreed upon by English Heritage. When British Rail proposed to dismantle the original pavilions and rebuild them using reconstituted stonework, English Heritage refused permissions. Accordingly, there was no substantial restoration performed to the viaduct during this period, a decision which British Rail publicly attributed to the sizable estimated cost of such works. The fabric of the structure continued to deteriorate over the next decade, with sections of stonework falling away from the balustrades and parapets. I guess it's better to let it deteriorate and collapse than actually rebuild it. And English Heritage people, with what end are you thinking with? That's so English, isn't it? Or shall we say British? Let's say English. Starting in March 1996, the viaduct underwent £6.5 million renovation overseen by the National Rail Infrastructure Company Railtrack and partially funded by grants from West Sussex County Council, Railway Heritage Trust and English Heritage. Ooh. Harder-wearing limestone was imported from Bordeaux to ensure the closest match with the existing canstone in the balustrades and pavilions. Some of the piers had to be reconstructed because of failures in the Victorian brickwork. The new bricks were handmade in a variety of sizes to suit the existing brickwork and set in sand, cement and lime mortar. Stainless steel anchoring was used to firmly fix the new stone to the old stonework throughout the work. One of the lines always remained open while restoration activity was being carried out on the other side of the viaduct. The project, which took more than 3 years, was completed in September 1999. I guess it's not the longest work that has been around, but it's still pretty sizable. And imagine the chaotic, not chaotic, but how much it must have disrupted the traffic at the time. Rail traffic I'm talking about, how much inconvenience it must stuff cost. But isn't that with every infrastructural object that's going into repair or restoration or renovation or stuff like that? But now, yeah, it's fully operated in game, and in game it is really, how to say it, really cool to go. It's like you feel it. Oh yeah, I'm already almost in there, and it's really cool wildland. And I every time it's like I enjoy it when I'm on it. I don't know why, but I do. Devil's Valley Viaduct for me on this slide is the king or the queen. I don't know why. It just is. In a game, actually, why am I talking about Bright Mainline? First place, why I am here is because well, in real life I used to commute from when I was living in Leicester, less when I was living in Sheffield, but mostly when I was living in Leicester I used to go to Estonia via Gatwick Airport, and I took the train to St Pancras, and from St Pancras I went to took the tube, King's Cross, sorry, and it was over 10 years ago, in late 2000s, and Victoria, and from Victoria Gatwick Express, and phew, was it £34 was the return ticket with Gatwick Express, if I don't remember, if I remember correctly, sorry, and £44 was Midland Main Line from Leicester to London, St Pancras, if I remember correctly. It's always if I remember correctly. I think 64, 62. It should be 20 euros more than Sheffield. So that's why when I was living in Sheffield, I didn't go to London too often. I used Manchester as my, I used Manchester quite a bit when I was living in Sheffield. So yeah, basically that's, so I've been on it as a passenger, and yeah, obviously in a game it has the whole thing has changed quite a lot as what I remember in my memories, and I wasn't looking much around when I was alive in there. And obviously there were different trains, but old trains, no 700s for example, or 387s. Just throwing it out in there. So yeah, that's why. And in game, I use that. This is I use that route the most when I play the game. I just enjoy this route. The second one is what I've noticed is what I use a lot is southeastern high speed. But I really am quite. It's really playable and role playable route. Southeastern high speed as well, but recommend a bit more. So I'm spending a lot of time here in games, a lot of driving time, and yeah, spending like 6 hours, 8 hours on this route is no problem for me. And obviously there's Riker branch and stuff. So yeah, that's why we are here today. And when Train Sim World 3 came out, I have some German routes, but I actually haven't got any routes back. The routes what I got because when I played the new German high-speed route, I was like, I actually don't enjoy it that much. So yeah, I got the German edition. I have some German routes, including the newer Dresden route and Köln and stuff installed, but I think I have Rairo Rosten as well, but I mostly use this one, so I haven't got anything else back at this point, so just because I use mostly 2 routes, and I'm thinking about maybe I get rid of my German content, and if I want it, it's always there. I can just download it whenever I want it. So, and yeah, this is. So basically, I don't have many routes to choose from at the moment that's installed, and I like this one, and I use this one a lot, and all sorts of different reasons. Also with a real life one. As we arrive to Gatwick Airport, I think there is a plane, so and we are slowing down, so pretty soon we should be in Gatwick. I don't know how to. Here it is. Oh, yeah, here it is. How to change the thingy. I wanted to say. Oh my God, that's twitchy. I don't know which button I pressed on. The buttons have changed, I've noticed. In Train Sim World 3. Hey. So yeah. Well, let's get back inside, shall we? Here. Oh, so good. Yeah. Gatwick. Nice. Hello, Gatwick. Been here many times. Gatwick is one of my favorite. What happens? That's really. Oh my God, that's really jumpy. Can we have a free cam? No. I have no idea. Gatwick Airport is actually one of my favorite airports in the entire world. I know many people hate that airport, but for me it's nice, it's comfortable, it's there are lots of why does this train say London Victoria? Please tell me that I'm looking at the wrong train. Welcome aboard the Southern Service to Brighton. Calling up Brighton. Alright. So you are going to Brighton. I was looking for the wrong train. Happens. So yeah, Gatwick is one of my favorite airports in the UK and the world. world in the airports where I've been, and it's probably changed quite a lot since the last time I was in there, but you know, it's nice. It's nice. By the way, when I was in Munich, it was really nice to have this game. And it's a different story. I'm not going in there. I probably am going to show you the viaduct once we get there, but I'm not gonna blab about blah blah too much. So this is the beautiful Gatwick Airport, one of my favorites, and these are, well, this guy has gone a bit overboard here, or is it short? Short. Alright. The AI is not perfect either. Makes those human mistakes. So yeah, it's been a long time. I apologize. And since I'm talking about the viaduct, oh my god, that was just bad. I wanted to show you the viaduct as well, but that went a bit... where am I? I really need to work with the sensitivity with my control. Now that went absolutely bad, and it's gonna get me inside the train pretty soon. But yeah, I thought I'd show you the viaduct as well that I'm talking about. Here it is. Nice and beautiful, with all of its glory. This is the viaduct. Oh my god, we are going through the viaduct. Yeah, this is it. So now you see, who don't really know why, get the idea why it's pretty impressive, right? As a viaduct. And greetings to I'm a rail fan, obviously. Hello. And what happened there? I have no idea. There we are. No scenery. Now we have scenery. Nice one. Can we get back in a train? Hopefully I can get back in the train as well. So apparently I cannot get in inside of the train. I'm stuck in the scenery, but that's okay. This is the cool somehow, somewhat. Show it the usually weather. Anyway, as we are approaching to Brighton, basically we are in Brighton, but approaching to a station where this journey ends. I wish to thank you again for joining with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you have, and if you have any suggestions what you would like me to discuss or talk about in Sunday morning train ride episodes, then please feel free to let me know that as well. I just might take your suggestion or idea on board and discuss whatever you would like to discuss. And for this episode, I actually got some inspiration from the DSW DTG Halloween special stream, and from someone else who I do not mention here at this moment of time. I truly hope you enjoyed this brief journey along with me. Obviously, there is a lot more to the Brighton Main Line, and what I just touched upon was just a very small fracture. So maybe in the future I stop on the history a bit more thoroughly. Maybe not. We will see. As we are waiting for someone to depart from the Brighton. Since I'm stuck in scenery, freak him. Oh my god. Let's see, who are we waiting? I know who are we waiting for. I don't know, but where this train is going. Oh, I don't know. So, hey, I'm there. There's the train and I'm there. Alright. Yeah. Waiting for someone. I can fly in. I'll play the flyman, and say all the finishing touches up in Brighton here. As you know, I'm stuck in scenery, so. Oh, that's pretty fast flying. So which platform the train comes in? Terminal 3. It comes here. Alright. Comes here. It's so comfortably touchy. Can come on my favorite place here and say all the. I cannot. Yeah. And say all the fun stuff. And until next Sunday morning episode, I already said all the fun stuff, didn't I? Until next Sunday morning episode, my name is Keith. Once again, thank you very much for joining with me, and I wish you all the best. Have a beautiful Sunday, have a beautiful week, and the rest of the autumn. I don't know why autumn is my favorite time of the year. Kind of. I like autumn. Even though I got a little bit ill. Alright, I'll stop babbling, rambling. It's been a while. I'm sorry. I apologize once again for that. I don't know why, but I do. Kind of feel like I should. So I do it. Oh, I wanted to stop on something else. There's always something, isn't it? I hope it's not going for too long. But there is always something else. Ah, it's that train. Oh right, it goes there. I wanted to touch on beautiful stuff that I read. I'm not gonna read it because there are YouTubers who read it, but Train World 3 Roadmap November update. A quick summary for those who don't want to go through the whole article like me. There are more details on all these points within the roadmap. Because I'm touching on it because it's quite interesting. Birmingham Cross City announced. Coming soon. New US route has been added. New train sim German route has been added. So the US route is what? I wish I can quickly. It doesn't say anything, but it has a code. And German route has a code as well, and US loco has a code as well. So yeah, but nothing more. Nothing more, but it is still pretty interesting, don't you think? The roadmap, I mean. Anyway, thank you very much and all the best. I'm looking forward for to cross the line. I am, and I'm waiting forward to do Sunday morning train ride all day as well, especially on Birmingham Street. All the best for you.